So I'm just gonna go through Reptile as well, right? Because his slide it's pretty similar to Subs, and they both have their strengths and weaknesses. But it's worth putting it, I guess, all on paper to see exactly what makes each move good. So with Reptile, the big difference is his move or his slide low profile is much earlier compared to Sub-Zero's. So just to check this out, right? The first example, right? So again, same thing. We're using Rain as the example, right? And in the first case, he gets hit here, right? You can see he gets hit. So like frame 2 or frame 3 looks like yeah, you get smacked in the face, right? But in the second example over here, right? Check this out. From frame 3, or is this frame 2 again? Jokes. Oh, frame 3, jokes. Yeah, frame. Did I put that in twice? Oops, I may put that in twice. Right, whoops. But anyways, what I was going. Yeah, so frame 3. So before frame 2, this is frame 3. Right? So he gets hit. Right, frame 3 slash 4 again, like I said in the previous video, plus minus 1 frame, but around frame 3 or 4, you get hit in the face. Right? But the thing is, for the majority of the cases I tested, at frame 3 it actually whiffs, right? So like before, we're counting from the first frame of contact. Again, and the frame count is in the top right corner for Rain, right? So frame 34 again is the frame where the thing starts coming out. And you can see I start doing slide when the fireball's basically in his face, right? So 1, 2, 3, and he gets hit, right? Now, again, I guess instead of doing separate videos, I've just put them all on top of each other. Again, there's a slight desyncs between when the button press happens and when the move actually starts, right? But I've synced up that point in the animation, which is framed around 34-ish, right? Around 34. Oh, sorry, yeah, 34 for this, right? And you can see there's no white globules, and now there appears, right? So they're all at the same point in the animation. But again, they're off by about 1 frame because of maybe recording issues or maybe the game ticks differently. But going through this, right? So the slide start again. Each of these, is, the frame count for the slide starts from 1 to 4, and you can see at about frame 3 for these two, right? For the top left here and bottom right, this is where it would make contact, right? But it's clearly not. And in this case, and for the next one, same over here, right? Like this is clearly this would have made contact, and this would have made contact too, right? But it goes over the top, and it covers it pretty easily, right? Let's go back, right? So in 4 of the cases where I tested at frame 3, yeah, he is low profiling. So Reptile low profile is at frame 3, or can low profile at frame 3 compared to Sub-Zero, who was low profiling at frame 12, right? I think I should contact again. Yes, yeah, yeah. So this is 1, 2, 3. Maybe I skipped a frame here during animation. Because looking at the the water, right? It seems to freeze in place here. So maybe frame 3 is actually over here. Well, frame 2 is actually over here. So it's actually going to hit frame 2. I can't tell. But regardless, around frame 3-ish was when you're safe on the low profile, right? And I think this is the frame 4 test I did. Yeah, we go, yeah. So again, same thing, I've synced up all the moves. All the... Yeah, they're actually all pretty good in this case, and there's no major desync, right? All the globules appear at 34. Globules being, these white things. And going forward, actually all of these are at very different frame times, which is kind of crazy. I'm not actually. That's because on the bottom left, he's actually walked much closer compared to the rest of them. So if you just want to compare the distance between each of them, in this case, he's in contact with the statue, in contact with the statue, in contact with the statue, and this one's slightly closer, which is why I've had to start slide earlier to get under it. But regardless, it doesn't really matter the location. It just depends on if you're low profiling yet at that point in the animation, right? So frame 4 for this one. Frame 3 looks like it makes contact, so this could be a frame 3 one, but definitely a frame 4. It's over him, right? And these two, it's close, but I wouldn't say it's made contact yet. But a frame 4 is definitely would have made contact, but he's low profiling it. And like sort of top right, looks like it's about to make contact, I'm not sure yet, but over here it's clearly. So between frame 3 and frame 4 is where you start low profiling. I'm inclined to say frame 3, but yeah. And get smacked, right? And this is a little side note, right? Just comparing the two slides side by side, right? Again, Just comparing the what's it called, the rain fireballs, right? Yeah, globules appear 34 like before. Just look at the difference here, right? So sub has to input his slide a whole 4 frames earlier to make sure that he low profiles in time, right? Which isn't that much, right? But the point is, like, he does need to react a lot earlier to get there, right? Yeah, 4 frames. So this one's low profiled. Actually, this one's just a full screen case, so it doesn't really matter, right, when I'm caring about low profiling. But in terms of, actually no, this is a really bad example. Because it would be about here. Let me go back again. This is sort of a winged video. When did I start the slide for the frame 4 one? Let's just go frame 4, right? So the slide starts in frame 39-ish. And that's for the frame 4 get under. So frame 39. Let's just go by the same point. So he would have started. Fuck. Yeah. Looking at this, right? He would have had to have started the slide a whole 8 frames. Or someone to start the slide 8 frames faster to make sure it profiles. So it's just, you have more leniency as Reptile to get on the fireballs. But I guess the other part to consider is how fast does he advance, right? So in the second case, here, you'll see over here. Yeah, we go. All I've done is just sync up the start of the slide animations. So this is frame 0 when I press the button, and they both start the animations. Right. Again, sub slide does travel further, right? So this is complete full screen, whereas sub Reptile has to be in 1 step. But sub slide makes contact on like frame 25, whereas Reptile still hasn't made contact yet, and he doesn't make contact until about frame 29. I'll say frame 30, right? So again, like, it's a 5 frame difference in impact time, but an 8 frame difference in how early you need to do the move to get other projectiles. So take a pick. In the context of MK1, I feel like most fireballs have pretty high recovery, minus Ashura and like those main characters, right? Actually, can I just pull? Let's just pull this up. Yeah, let's just pull this up and let's just go through each of the characters. I'm genuinely pretty curious about how how each character would behave. There we go. So let's just go to the characters, like, right? So who did it, like, what fireball is so slow?
Reptile.
Kitana's pretty fast. Maybe Melina. Up in the way. I think Lu's a good example. So if sub, if Reptile is pretty good, right? No one else has a super fast projectile. I may Li Mei too. But it was like, the big thing is the speed difference would only really come into the case of this fast
Kano corrupted fast.
The low profile property anytime. I guess the other point is you can't really control it, right? Because it doesn't like launch you up, but that doesn't really matter. So let's just get Lu to throw. This is so much. This was the fastest. Holy shit. Late in the video. This is such an easy. You did it with sub, you get smacked in the face, 100%. Let's try Li Mei. Honestly, like, I can't remember, yeah, most fireballs in this game have pretty high
Li Mei. Scorpion, Reptile, Li Mei. Frog, Kano, the Hourglass.
Again, this is just spitballing at this point, guys. It was sort of beyond the point of the video, but just really curious. Oh wow, I got this. So if you're late, so I guess the difference is if you're Obviously, this is. Sub it to me, so we still get you pay better. So Li Mei is case. What's the other one?
Reptile.
I feel like Lao. Yeah, I feel like Lao Fireball. Or Kitana.
Kung Lao. Frost. Kano, the gateway.
Yeah, so Li Mei would definitely give you trouble, but let's just try it out. You can definitely yeah, so if your reaction's not on point to react, or your window to react is larger because of the instant profile. It's just the fact that you can't control it, the fast recovery fireballs. It won't.
Reptile. Kitana. Frost. Kano. Treasure chamber.
Last wait, okay. Kitana's you will die. Fast reaction is probably just for confirmation, let's just check with sub. How does sub work? Let me see.
Sub-Zero. Kitana. Frost. Kano. Wuxi Academy.
See how I got it earlier. I guess I can do it full screen. It gives me a bit more time. The full screen is massive, so I can see it. But again, if I add shit instead. Look at that. Yeah, if you wait. Actually, I'll get to it. I'm actually doing it on the OBS feed. So let's do it on the actual game feed where I can react slightly faster. Okay, add these in. Anyways, both slides are different, right? Reptile gives you a larger window, but doesn't advance as fast. Subs, you gotta react much faster, but because it travels faster, the low recovery fireballs won't be as good. Anyways, sort of ranting. See you guys.